At 85, Shirley Caesar is finally ready to talk about the rumors that have followed her throughout her long and successful career. Having enchanted the world as a prominent member of the Caravans and a solo gospel icon, Shirley has navigated more than just musical notes throughout her life. Now, she's breaking her silence, promising to reveal aspects of her past that have remained hidden from the public eye. But what could these revelations be, and how will they alter our perception of a gospel legend? Let's find out the untold truths behind Shirley Caesar's headline-making announcement. Notes from the field. At 85 years old, Shirley Caesar is finally opening up about the stories and rumors that have followed her throughout her life. As a beloved gospel singer and former member of the iconic group, the Caravans, Shirley has faced many challenges and experiences that she's never shared publicly, until now. Shirley was born on October 13, 1938, in a lively household as the 10th of 12 children. Her father, James, worked in the tobacco fields but was also a well-known gospel singer in a local quartet that performed throughout the Carolinas. Growing up in a home filled with music, Shirley's love for gospel was sparked early on, creating the foundation for her future career. By the time she was 10, Shirley was already singing with her father's quartet, learning the ropes of performing and the power of gospel music. But life took a heartbreaking turn when her father died unexpectedly when she was just 12 years old. It was a moment that could have stopped her dreams, but instead, it lit a fire in her to keep going and honor her father's legacy. After her father's death, Shirley started traveling with evangelist Leroy Johnson, singing in different places and gaining valuable experience. She also appeared on Johnson's television show in Portsmouth, Virginia, where she performed for both live and TV audiences. This was a huge step in her career, helping her grow her confidence and connect with more people. At just 13, Shirley recorded her first song, I'd Rather Have Jesus, which showcased her talent and set the stage for her future in gospel music. While other teenagers were worried about school and friends, Shirley was busy touring the Carolinas, perfecting her singing and building a fan base that admired her passion and voice. But this wasn't the whole story. Growing up in North Carolina during the era of segregation, Shirley often faced the harsh realities of racial discrimination. From restaurants that wouldn't serve her to being treated unfairly at school, she experienced painful moments that left a lasting impact. She still remembers a school event where white children were given fresh cookies while she was handed stale ones. Small moments that spoke volumes about the world she was navigating. But this wasn't the worst part. The strength to keep going came largely from her mother, Hannah, who taught Shirley the importance of self-respect and never giving up, no matter the odds. Her mother's lessons became Shirley's guiding light, helping her push through tough times with her head held high. After finishing high school, Shirley Caesar was determined to continue her education. She enrolled at North Carolina Central College, where she decided to study business education. But during her college years, something happened that would change her life forever. One day, while taking a routine typing test, Shirley heard someone call her name. Confused, she asked her classmate if they had spoken, but they hadn't. The same thing happened again later when she was resting at home, only this time, the voice carried a message that deeply moved her, telling her that she was chosen to spread the gospel. Shirley took this as a sign that her true calling was to use her musical talent to share her faith with the world. This realization gave Shirley a strong sense of purpose. She felt she was destined to make a difference through her music, and this belief became the driving force behind her decisions and shaped her entire career in gospel music. In 1958, at the age of 19, Shirley made a bold decision. She approached Albertina Walker, the leader of the Caravans, one of the most famous gospel groups at the time. Impressed by Shirley's voice, Albertina quickly invited her to join the group. Understanding the importance of this chance, Shirley decided to pause her college education and commit fully to her music. Joining the Caravans marked the beginning of her professional journey, providing her with a larger stage to perform and learn from seasoned gospel artists. However, life on the road with the Caravans wasn't without its challenges. Shirley's first night with the group was a defining moment, taking place in Washington, D.C. She stayed at the Casbah Hotel on U Street, an area rich with African-American culture and history. It was her first time staying alone in a hotel, and the experience left her feeling anxious and out of her comfort zone. But this wasn't the most difficult part. That same night, Shirley faced another significant test. A male gospel singer, also staying at the hotel for an upcoming show, made inappropriate advances toward her. With strength and maturity beyond her years, Shirley firmly turned him down, protecting her dignity and setting a standard for how she would handle similar situations in the future. As Shirley's role within the Caravans grew, her talent began to shine even brighter. She performed alongside gospel legends like Albertina Walker, Cassietta George, and James Cleveland. This was a critical time for Shirley, as she was able to learn from some of the most influential figures in gospel music, refining her unique vocal style and gaining invaluable experience. Throughout her time with the Caravans, Shirley's commitment to her calling never wavered. Every performance was more than just a chance to sing. It was an opportunity to fulfill her mission of spreading her faith through music. Her dedication and remarkable talent earned her respect in the gospel music community and set the stage for her later success as a solo artist. But this wasn't just about fame or recognition. Shirley's journey from a college student to a key member of one of the most celebrated gospel groups of her time is a powerful example of resilience and faith. As Shirley leaves the Caravans, her solo career begins, filled with new challenges and successes, melodies and mismatches. During her time with the Caravans, Shirley Caesar recorded many songs that became widely loved, with hits like Sweeping Through the City and No Coward Soldier standing out. These songs not only showcase Shirley's incredible voice, but also her ability to connect deeply with her audience through powerful performances. However, even with all the success, things weren't always smooth within the group. Like in many music groups, tensions started to rise among the members in the early 1960s. By 1961, Shirley felt it was time for a change. She faced a tough choice: stay with the Caravans or follow a new path. She felt a strong pull to leave the group, driven by a deeper sense of purpose. Shirley believed her calling was more than just singing. It was about sharing her faith and doing more ministry work. She felt a growing need to focus on this part of her life, explaining that it was her spiritual duty that was leading her. It was a hard decision, but Shirley knew she had to follow her heart. Leaving the Caravans wasn't just the end of one chapter. It was the start of something new and exciting. After spending 8 years with the group, Shirley was ready to go solo. She had honed her skills and was eager to explore her own sound and message. Her solo journey began when Hob Records offered her a recording contract, which she gladly accepted, marking the beginning of a new phase in her career. But this wasn't the toughest part of her journey. Shirley's first solo album, I'll Go, showed she was more than ready to stand on her own. She worked with the institutional radio choir, whose harmonies added a special touch to her powerful voice. Songs like Oh Peter, Don't Be Afraid and Choose You This Day highlighted Shirley's unique vocal style and her gift for connecting with listeners on a spiritual level. This album was just the beginning, proving she could shine just as brightly on her own. Shirley quickly followed up with more hits, making her mark as a solo artist in gospel music. Songs like Satan, We're Going to Tear Your Kingdom Down and God's Not Dead, He's Yet Alive became anthems, loved for their strong, uplifting messages. Another memorable song, Don't Drive Your Mama Away, touched many hearts and solidified her place as a major influence in the gospel music. But this wasn't all there was to her success. In 1971, Shirley reached a milestone when she won her first Grammy Award for her version of Put Your Hand in the Hand of the Man. This award was a huge moment in her career, showing that her hard work and talent were being recognized not just by fans but by the music industry as well. It was also a powerful confirmation that her decision to go solo was the right one, reinforcing her commitment to both her music and her ministry. In 1975, Shirley Caesar reached a big milestone in her music career when she earned her first gold record with the song No Charge. This song struck a chord with many people, showing Shirley's unique talent for creating music that was not just beautiful but also carried deep and meaningful messages. This success confirmed her place as a powerful voice in the music world, known for touching and inspiring her listeners. But even with this success, Shirley felt something was missing. She believed her record label, Hob Records, was holding her back from reaching a wider audience. So, when it came time to renew her contract in 1977, she decided not to sign again. Instead, Shirley wanted to explore new opportunities that would help her music connect with more people from all walks of life. In a surprising move that stirred up a lot of conversation in the gospel music world, Shirley signed with Roadshow Records, a secular, non-religious label, in 1977. Her first album with this new label was called First Lady. The name, chosen by the producer, was meant to highlight her role as the first female artist on the label, and it soon became a big part of her identity in the music industry. But this wasn't the biggest challenge. First Lady was different from Shirley's previous work. While her lyrics were still rooted in gospel, the music itself had a more modern sound, which didn't sit well with some traditional gospel fans. Many gospel radio stations and DJs felt her music was becoming too worldly and refused to play it, arguing that it strayed too far from her gospel roots. Despite the pushback, one song from the album, Faded Rose, stood the test of time and became a favorite. However, the rest of the album didn't do as well, and the commercial success Shirley hoped for didn't come through. Still, the title First Lady caught on, and she became widely recognized as the First Lady of gospel music, which boosted her reputation within gospel circles. But this wasn't the end of her struggles. Shirley tried again with Roadshow Records with her second album, From the Heart, in 1978. Unfortunately, this album faced similar problems, with many in the gospel community still feeling her music was too influenced by secular sounds. This led to disappointing sales and continued resistance from her core audience. Realizing she needed to reconnect with her gospel roots, Shirley knew it was time to find a new path. She started looking for a record label that better matched her values and her desire to create music that honored her faith. In 1980, Shirley found that fit with Word Records, a label that fully embraced her gospel background. Shirley's decision to partner with Word Records paid off in a big way. Over the next several years, she won multiple Grammy Awards, proving that her focus on gospel music was exactly what her fans wanted. This period brought some of her biggest hits, songs that not only defined her sound but also solidified her place as a true gospel music legend. But this wasn't her only moment of success. One of her most famous songs during this time was Hold My Mule, which later became popular again as a Thanksgiving internet meme known as You Name It. This unexpected viral moment brought Shirley's music to a whole new generation, showing that her appeal and message could stand the test of time and change with the culture. Other memorable songs from this era included He's Working It Out for You, Jesus I Love Calling Your Name, and You're Next in Line for a Miracle. These tracks highlighted Shirley's incredible gift for delivering messages of hope and faith, touching countless hearts and offering comfort and inspiration to those who listened. As controversies arise, Shirley's story takes a new turn, showing the tough side of handling fame and faith. On her own. Throughout her solo career, Shirley Caesar became a big name in the gospel music world, often appearing on popular TV shows like The Bobby Jones Gospel Show. These appearances helped her reach more people and grow her fan base. Despite her rising fame, Shirley never forgot where she came from. She often credited her mentor and former Caravans bandmate, Albertina Walker, as a key influence in her life. Shirley admired Albertina deeply, calling her the queen of gospel music, and she always acknowledged how much Albertina helped her early on in her journey. But things weren't always smooth for Shirley. Her career wasn't without controversy, especially when it came to topics like acceptance within the church. One of the biggest controversies happened when gospel singer Kim Burrell gave a sermon that was seen as anti-LGBTQ. Burrell's harsh words about LGBTQ people sparked outrage, and even some of her friends and fellow musicians criticized her for it. In response to the backlash against Burrell, Shirley addressed the topic during a sermon at First Baptist Church of Glenarden in Baltimore. Instead of distancing herself from Burrell's comments, Shirley suggested that Burrell should have spoken up earlier, especially when big political changes were happening, like the legalization of same-sex marriage by the Supreme Court in 2015. This surprised many of Shirley's fans, as they didn't expect her to align with Burrell's controversial views. But this wasn't the most challenging part. Shirley's remarks sparked a lot of debate about the role of the church in being inclusive, and how public figures should handle such sensitive issues. Shirley went a step further by suggesting that church leaders might consider collecting cell phones at the door so they could speak more openly without worrying about being recorded. This added fuel to the ongoing discussions about privacy and accountability. As criticism grew, Shirley felt the need to clarify her position. In an interview with Bishop George Bloomer, she addressed the controversy directly. Shirley explained that at her age, she had no interest in being hateful or hurtful. She emphasized that she would never purposely say something to offend anyone, and that at this point in her life she was more focused on being a kind and loving person. But this wasn't the end of the misunderstanding. Shirley tried to explain that her earlier comments were being taken out of context, questioning why this issue was suddenly such a big deal and why people would let it disrupt their lives. She stressed that the past should remain in the past and encouraged everyone, no matter who they were, to look forward and focus on positive change. She ended her remarks by calling for love and acceptance for all, quoting the Bible to remind everyone that true discipleship is about loving others. Despite her efforts to clear the air, the controversy didn't completely die down. Some people still felt that Shirley's statements were confusing or that she was avoiding taking a clear stand, while others appreciated her focus on love and forgiveness. Shirley's experience during this time shows how hard it can be for public figures to navigate tricky social issues while staying true to their beliefs. Shirley Caesar's involvement in public debates about inclusivity brought some unexpected reactions, including personal attacks. Rumors began to spread, suggesting Shirley might have had romantic relationships with women in the past. These claims, which were never proven, seemed like attempts to highlight a perceived hypocrisy in Shirley's stance. This situation stirred up not just talk about her personal life, but also broader discussions about LGBTQ individuals in gospel music, putting a spotlight on Christian artists who had come out publicly, challenging traditional views in the community. For example, Trey Pearson, the lead singer of the Christian rock band Everyday Sunday, came out as gay in a letter to his fans, causing a stir in the Christian music world. Vicky Beeching, a well-known Christian songwriter, also shared her story in 2014 after years of writing songs sung in churches across the U.S. Similarly, Jennifer Knapp, another popular Christian artist, came out in 2010, which shook the Christian contemporary music scene. Amid these heated discussions, Shirley made a big personal decision by marrying Bishop Harold Williams in June 1983. This was more than just a marriage, it was a partnership. Together they served as co-pastors at Mount Calvary Word of Faith Church in Raleigh, North Carolina. The church thrived under their leadership, growing to about 1,500 members. Though Shirley didn't have children of her own, she became a stepmother to Bishop Williams's children, embracing her new family role until his passing in July 2014, which was a deeply personal loss for her. But this wasn't the hardest part. Shirley continued to shine in her music career despite personal trials. In 2016, her album Fill This House reached the top of the gospel Billboard charts, proving her lasting impact in the industry. That same year, she received the Rhapsody and Rhythm Award from the National Museum of African American Music, honoring her lifetime contributions. Shirley's influence kept growing, and in June 2016, she received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This achievement recognized her as a true cultural icon, celebrating her long-lasting impact on music and culture. However, Shirley faced unusual challenges, including bizarre rumors about her death that spread online. One false video claimed she was on her deathbed, showing a picture of a hospitalized woman who wasn't Shirley. These rumors confused and worried her fans. In response, Shirley made a video addressing the gossip, humorously stating that unless she was living dead, she was perfectly fine. She clarified that she had never been seriously ill, countering rumors of conditions like throat cancer. But this wasn't the end of her challenges. Besides her music and ministry, Shirley remains active in helping her community. She hosts an annual outreach ministry conference, offering food, clothing, shelter, and financial help to those in need. She even opened a thrift store, using the proceeds to support her charitable work, especially during the holidays. Looking ahead, Shirley has expressed interest in trying new things, including acting, showing that she's always ready for fresh challenges. Her openness to new experiences despite past controversies highlights her resilience and commitment to growth. Shirley's story is one of perseverance, adaptability, and an unwavering dedication to her faith and her community. What are your thoughts on Shirley Caesar's controversial stance? Does it signal a shift in gospel music's approach to inclusivity? Like, comment, and subscribe to join the discussion.